Hello and welcome back to the Rio Hotel. This is round 5 of the Banks Showdown between Shane Van Boening and Tony CHOHAN. Joined here by former Moscone Cup team member John Schmidt. Good to have you back, John.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Great to be here. How tough is the Bankpool when Tony CHOHAN might not advance?
Yeah, so he actually can't. He's coming in at 1-3. Filler's at the top of their division. He's finished the tournament at 4-1. Shane's currently at 3-1. So Shane has to win this match 3-1 or better in the scoreline to take number 1 in the overall standings.
Gotcha.
Number 1 is going to advance to the semifinals automatically. Shane will qualify regardless, but he'll be looking to advance to the semifinals. So if there's any storyline in this match, we'll be seeing how Shane does and seeing if he can take number 1 spot in his group.
It's funny, I just watched Filler play a Bankpool match, and we talked to him afterwards, and he said, oh, CHOHAN played so unbelievable on me, never missed anything. And so I thought CHOHAN was like leading his division, and he can't advance. That's amazing. So I guess it just shows what a great field it is.
Yeah, Filler and Van Boening are at the top of their group. Gomez and I should know the other player at the top of the other group. Double check here. There's actually a 3-way tie for 3rd in the other group that's going to come down to wins and losses. Not quite sure if they've decided that yet. Shane with the ball on the first break. Looks good on the 9 here.
Yeah, he's got a few choices here. The 9, the 6 cross side.
Just thinking about how he can play position. Could follow for the 4. Stun over for the 6 maybe.
Nice shot.
First ball down for Shane. Straight enough on the 4 to play a straight back. Oh, I miscued.
Almost made it anyway.
So early error there for Van Boening, leaving CHOHAN pretty straight on the 4 cross side. Oh, is the ball going to block it?
Yeah. You saw Tony kind of smile.
So Shane up 1-0 in the first game here. Yep, Billy's doing well in the other group. So Billy and Roberto have secured their spots. And actually they've tallied up all the points, and Alex Paguline's made it through. So this is the last match that's going to determine the final 6 here.
Okay, a little short there.
Pretty good angle here for Shane. Plays it in with speed. Doesn't want to be over top of the 3s. Okay there. Like the 2 or the 3 here, John?
I kind of like the 2. You know, for most of my pool life, I just felt like the guys that were great at Bankpool were from that, you know, Kentucky and this and that, and that these kind of players weren't great Bankpool players. And I found out real quick, these straight shooters, they're super tough to beat playing Banks, and they don't play it that often. I promise you, Shane does not play a ton of Bankpool, but he rips them in as good as anybody.
I really thought the 7 was in the way there, and he missed the 7 by very little and still got short. Bit of a shaky start here for Shane. He is up 2 balls.
I believe he'll have to cross past this 3 ball with high right English. The cue ball will go to the in rail and then turn to the right, just like that. Nice shot. Very one-pockety, and as we all know, this guy's, what do you think? Is he, I mean, realistic, would you say like top 3, 4 in the world in one pocket? He's got to be right there. He wins all kind of the big tournaments.
Yeah, well, the interesting rivalry part about the players playing right now is that Tony was thought to be rated ahead of Shane, but Shane's beat him in 2 big challenge matches in the past year and a half.
Yeah, I don't think Shane gets the credit playing one pocket he deserves. I've watched him play, and he moves great, banks great, and shoots great. Like, what else is there? What else is he supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that big one-pocket match that's been tentatively announced between Federer and Alex. And Shane Staker said, well, go ahead, we'll take on the winner.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's something that they believe in, or Shane believes in himself, that he can beat anybody playing one pocket.
I mean, he plays great. Oh, how does that hang up?
Slightest miss there. Be hitting this with speed, trying to hold the angle, going diagonally towards the corner. Short. One thing to be said for Tony is he hasn't played as much on these Predator tables.
Right.
Not that they play that different than any other table. I mean, they're world-class tables, but it's just he doesn't have as much experience as some of the other players.
Got to hit this kind of pocket speed to beat the kiss. Yeah, nice shot.
It's there. 3-1 lead now for Shane. 6-ball looks available.
This is maybe he can twist this in with right-hand English.
Well, he knew how close he had to go to the point there. You see him kind of feeling the point on the other side of the table, kind of trying to get a feel for how it would play if he played that close to the point. Just decided on safe. Protecting his lead here. Tony's just firing here.
Just overcut it barely.
Tony's going to play a little more aggressive overall, knowing that he can't actually advance, which is a positive for Shane. Not that he's not trying to win the match by
but he might shoot a couple shots a little more loose.
Yeah. Same spot for Tony here. Three balls stacked up now.
Yeah, you got to run off the left side of the 8 here and back down to kind of where you're. Yeah, there you go. That's the shot. Nice cue ball.
Perfect cue ball.
Yeah. Shane will do the same thing. Right off the edge of the 8.
So typically, do you think you want to leave the cue ball in the middle of the short rail there, or favor one of the sides? Or it depends how the balls are. Or?
Well, they just don't want to hit the point of that side pocket as they're traveling down tables. So they'll hit the ball thick enough to make sure they don't mess with that, which will take them kind of to the middle.
Right.
I don't think the middle has a big advantage. They just don't want to hit those points.
Right.
Well, now that was sort of a he's got a tea time or something, because that was pretty tough.
Pretty loose.
Yeah, pretty loose.
Shane's got the 5 here. Short. Twisted on him a little bit. Shane's missed 3 or 4 makeable banks in this first game.
Tony wants to fire at something. You can just see it.
it's going to go one way or the other. He's going to miss them and start leaving Shane easy ones, or he's going to start running 3s and 4s.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pounding the 6 past the 2, I think. No, twisted it in the side. Oh, just caught
Has
the
to
8.
go straight in. Almost look like the impossible bank shot from Vern Elliott, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Amazing how much you can throw the object balls to create banking angles,
Right.
like he did there. Tony's got the 4. I can play the cue ball safe in the process.
It wouldn't surprise me if he pounds this in with bottom outside and just draws around 3 rails or something. Oh, he might be following down. No, he did play safe. Okay.
Nice.
No, he's definitely
Showing some restraint.
Right. Some restraint. I kind of like coming off the right side of the 8 and putting the cue ball kind of down to the other end of the table here when I'm ahead 3-1. Well, now this shot, when you miss it, can leave the 4, the 2, because the cue ball's going to come around.
Very aggressive from Shane here.
He's got to like run the cue ball a little bit, doesn't he? Oh no, he tried to hold it. Oh, that's pretty good cue ball though.
Yeah, did well with the cue ball there. Got it. 3-2 now. Straight back for Tony. He's going to lay up for the corner. If not, the side. Okay, he's going side here. 4 ball will be available after.
I was hitting balls with Shane's cue in Florida once, just because it's so got the extension. And I'm telling you, Eric, it had to weigh 23 ounces. And I told him that, and he just laughed, you know. He just like, yep.
Well, didn't they say Efren used to play with a really heavy cue too?
I always thought it was like some real light one, but yeah, I heard that too. I heard it was super heavy and made $3 cue and all this stuff. But Shane's cue, if you ever get a chance to just pick it up and swing it, you will not believe the weight of it. Well, actually, now that one's got the shorter extension, so that might be a little less heavy, but it was noticeably, I mean, it had to be in the 23-ounce range, which felt ridiculous to me, but I would play with a 10-pound cue if I could win as much as him.
Yeah, there was a time when a few players were playing with those like 8-inch extensions. There was like Shaw, Catchy.
Earl started it, and everybody, you know.
Yeah, and they all kind of got off of it. They ended up with like 2 inches.
Well, then I see Fedor, you know, he's taller than me. A lot of people are, but he's tall, and he doesn't use an extension on the back. So I'm thinking, okay, my 58-inch cue is just right for me then.
I don't use one, even though I'm taller.
Yeah.
I just never got that
right,
extra
you don't.
feel from it. I don't know. It never did anything for me, so I just stuck with what a traditional. Crossing the 2 here. Or 6, pardon me.
6, yeah, hitting it slow with right-hand English, kind of beating the kiss. Well, not slow, but like, yeah, like that. Nice shot. He's got such a good feel for the kisses and just such a knowledge. It's really, you know, we all know he wins everything, but if you look at his list of accomplishments on a piece of paper, it doesn't even look real. I mean, it's like 200 tournament wins or something. Millions of dollars he's won on tour.
Yeah, Fargo did some kind of analysis on that one time, and you know, like it was done in like a bar graph fashion, and his bar graph was like 4 times longer than anyone else in the game over the last 15 years.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's just
crazy. Oh, good hit. That might slip in there. Good shot. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm up to date kind of with what he wins, but when it's all there on a piece of paper, holy Toledo.
Dennis Arcola was high up there.
Oh, yeah, that's
graph.
another one, yeah.
But nothing comparable to Shane.
No, nobody's comparable to Shane that I could see.
Tied in balls now here in game 1. Tony's left a straight back on the 6.
All right, all TBAs are now live for the 3 o'clock.
Got it.
Yeah, nice shot.
Please check the record to see where you
Choice of banks here, whichever one he prefers. Cross the 8 or straight back on the 4.
I like the 8 because you can kind of just lag it down there and hold the cue ball. Yeah, and this way it's free because you need 1. He'll just play the cue ball to the end rail here. He might fire this depending on his move, but I like just kind of smoothing it down their pocket weight like that. If it goes in, great.
Looks good.
Yeah, nice shot.
Nice 2 and out at the end of rack 1 for Van Boening. Takes a 1-0 lead. Reminder, if he wins the set 3-0 or 3-1, he'll win his group. And the significance of that is he'll advance automatically to the semifinals. Players finishing 2nd and 3rd will play a quarterfinal matchup. Yeah, you can see Shane playing a little more safe than Tony there. Breaks an advantage in this game. I mean, you make a ball, you got the choice of 8 balls to bank at. Banks has always played with the traditional 1 on the spot racking format. Six might go, it does.
That's big.
Gonna have the 1 available.
If he misses this 1 and that cue ball moves down to the right, yeah, he's going to play it cross side so he can keep the cue ball down here. I like this. It's kind of a safe little shot to get started. Oh, he hit it good too. Wow. You know, you find out a lot about how a table plays if you let these guys play bank pool on it. Because, you know, they know how to aim and all the banks are going right where they're looking. So it looks like the rail profile and the sub rails and all that technical stuff that I know nothing about has been done correctly, or they wouldn't be making all these banks.
Well, in the majority of matches, they've been over within 30 minutes.
Right.
So
So
it's
they're
like
just-
they're making long.
Yeah, they're making a lot of banks.
Just
Smart-
safe there.
Smart
for Shane.
shot.
Ball pocket on the break will be spotted. Tony's going to have a cross opportunity on the 2. Looks pretty big for the double kiss. Feels like he can play around it.
Oh, we got the
Was.
beat the scratch, yeah. Didn't do too bad. That could have went real bad. Could have left a bunch of little baby cross sides or something.
Shane's going to have a shot at the 3 here. Might leave the 9. Smart shot to come underneath it.
A little stun run through stroke to get to the in rail.
Unlucky with where the three is going to end up here.
Right.
Tony's going to have a shot to cross it back to the corner.
You know, I could have made a pretty nice living just being Shane's caddy. Just getting 10% of his winnings like a golf caddy or whatever they get paid. You could actually do pretty well. You know, I'm Shane's caddy. I get him coffee. You know, wouldn't be a bad
Who
gig,
knows?
really.
Maybe we're only 5 years away from stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Johan Reisink would be the closest.
Oh, you're right.
I remember when Jasmine and I guess Jasmine and Albin, more Jasmine, used to come over with a coach all the time, even back in the day. I think his name was Michael. I can't remember his last name.
It's interesting.
Good chance for Shane here. Deciding between the 9 and the 5. Going to start with the 9.
Yeah, I like the 9 for sure.
Right in the heart. Did well on the 6.
Yeah, he got perfect on the 6 too.
Bank that one in with speed for position.
You know, and I really believe that with this new modern chalk, the bank pool level will be higher because there won't be chalk on the rails and the balls where all of a sudden you hit a bank and it shortens up a foot because that chalk landed just right. You just remove that out of the equation, the skids go away, and the odd bank that acts funny goes away because the level that these guys are banking at, I mean, it's about as good as I've ever seen. I've watched, you know, the Derby last 15, 20 years every year. Because every bank's reacting the same because the balls are spotless with that Predator Pure 1080 chalk, which is really one of the biggest advancements in our game.
And being able to play on similar equipment too, right? Like
That's right. Every table plays the same, so when you get dialed in, you don't go, well, I'm going to the table with the old cloth and what have you.
Yeah, anytime you play in a Predator tournament, the conditions are very comparable. And that's the point I was making about Tony. And again, it's not a knock on the equipment at all. It's just that Tony has less experience on these tables.
Yeah, and you might have a little less belief, even though the table probably plays. He might just not be confident. I haven't played on these, and as a pool player, I got all the excuses down pat. You know, so I might go into a match and say, I've never played on one of these, and you almost subconsciously can talk yourself out of playing good.
Shane looks like he's going to cross the 8 here. (3-2) overall.
These are tough for the players when they hit these kind of medium speed because the 8's going to go from rolling to sliding to, or sliding to rolling to hitting the rail, sliding back to rolling. That's why he fired it, because you remove all those variables out of there, and that 8 ball doesn't have a chance to arc and turn over and slip and roll.
Good call.
Yeah, right? Because I always thought when I first started playing, but why are they hitting them so hard? But it just removes so many variables.
Oh, nice finish again from Shane. Taking a 2-0 lead now. He's gone 2 and out in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Kind of dominating the end part of the rack. And well on his way to taking #1 spot overall in his group.
Referee doing a nice job. Working hard. There's a bunch of referees here on their feet all day.
Gonna have to get used to these player overall performance totals for Banks. But considering Tony's only at 400 and Shane's at 6, you can see the difference there. Big break. No good. First chance to Tony here. Fair bit short there.
Yeah. Tony's just like the easiest going guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just see him in a total fit of road rage. I mean, all he would do is just maybe raise his eyebrows a little bit, you know? Like, I mean, he never, I've known him 20 years. I've never really seen him get riled up or nothing. He's just super easy going.
Looks like Shane might have the 4 here. He's looking at it. No, he's going to go back to the 3.
You know, we all have our favorites and everything, but, you know, really, Shane and Tony have really always treated me very well. And, you know, I always like to tell this one, but in case you haven't heard me say this, I was rooming with Shane 15 years ago, and Obama's on TV talking. And I just, we're, you know, watching the news in the room, and I look over, I go, Shane, what do you think of Obama? Shane says, he can't beat me. I'll never forget that.
I break better than him.
Oh, dude, it was so funny. He just said it with a straight face. Can't beat me. Gotta love it. Pretty good answer, too. If you want to stay out of politics, just can't beat me. he can get the last 2.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm from California, and Tony CHOHAN is. So the first time I met him, I think was about '97, and I knew right then he was a special talent. He was like 17 years old and playing some gigantic set against a great player, and I was like, who is this guy? And he has that kind of unassuming, just kind of lumbers around the table and a very distinct stroke. But I knew right away he was going to be something. This is Hall of Fame material.
He's down on the southeast coast now.
Yeah. Oh, got the kiss there.
Was that in Sacramento or Bellflower?
Yeah, that was in Sacramento, where he was kind of from that area. Him and Amar Kang, who sadly passed away, and another great player, and his cousin. But I've known Tony since he was about 17. And if you wanted to win any one-pocket tournament in the United States in the last 20 years, you had to somehow get past him.
Yeah, I would say he has the most titles of anyone.
Oh, million wins.
So he always focused on one pocket a little more than rotation.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I think his rotation is highly overshadowed by how talented he is at one pocket. The guy plays great 9-ball if he gets in the mood to do it, trust me. There's a lot of people think they can beat him playing 9-ball that would check up short. He plays good, and he plays 9-ball good for big money. I've seen him do it. But when you play one pocket as good as him, you're obviously looking to play that game. But yeah, he can play that 9-ball. I mean, he's a 780 Fargo.
Right. Good chance for Shane here.
Yeah, I remember at the Derby maybe 15 years ago, I walk in and Tony's playing like $3,000 sets of 9-ball against like a great player from the Philippines. And they broke even after a day and a half, you know? I mean, yeah, he knows how to shoot them in numerical order, don't worry. Oh, that was a nice touch to get that just to let go just right.
Tony taking a decent lead in rack number 3 now.
play the 3, back to his left. Cue ball should go 3 rails down by the 5. Oh, no, he went soft with it. Okay. Nice shot. Look at this. Up. He
Slightest
thought he
bit
snuck it in there. Well, that's what a NASCAR driver would look like playing pool. How do you like how many sponsors he represents? Is that awesome?
Yeah, he's got his own brand
Yeah.
too, Game Tight
That's awesome.
Clothing.
Yeah. Well, when you rep, when you have Tony rep, you're going to get a lot of TV time because he's at every tournament. He's out there playing. And he gives the sponsors a real good bang for the buck because he is going to be on camera somewhere in this country about every 7 days. You'll see him just pop up out of nowhere.
Draws a crowd too because
Yes.
he plays
Everybody
entertaining,
loves
one
Tony.
pocket.
Yes.
Yeah. 4-railer here coming from Tony.
This would be a cool looking shot. Ooh, this has
No
got to turn a
chance.
little bit. Tighten up.
No.
Good.
Does 5-ball have room? Looks like he's going inside.
And I'm going on and on about Tony. Shane's the same thing. Super good guy. Everybody likes him. He's got time for the fans and the kids and just is very approachable. I mean, he's a full-blown superstar, but you can come up and talk to him. And he's got a smile for everybody, and I'm a fan of his myself. And what a career he's put together. It's otherworldly.
Well, when you're that good, it's easy to have a lot of haters too, right?
Yes,
And you never
of
really hear that
course.
with Shane, you know?
Right. Oop. A little unlucky. Yeah, well, to hate on Shane is so ridiculous. It's because what are you going to say bad about the guy? He just never misses and goes about his business. So, yeah, you really expose yourself if you start, bad-mouthing Shane Van Boening.
Ball in hand behind the head string on fouls and Bankpool. Get the shooter ball in front of the head string. Shane's going to be going at the 9 here. Shot. Chance to cross the 3.
So we'll cut it a little bit. Doesn't take much.
Rack's getting jammed up a little now. 1, 2 not available. 7 not great. 5 definitely not available. Two-railer on the 3 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty free. You could. Well, the 7 I think's in the way. He might try to cross, just let the cue ball go back and forth with high ball.
Double kissed, I think.
Yeah, he
Lost
did,
some
didn't he?
speed. It's the thinnest
Still
double
almost-
kiss where it didn't really change the angle, but it kind of looked like it there.
No one likes a nit. That's funny.
It's a gambling term, meaning you have no gamble.
Right, I remember I'd only played pool about 2 months. I played a race to 7 with this girl, Debbie Brown, in California. I just was starting pool, and she beat me 7-0 for $5, and I quit because I was thinking, well, I have no chance. And she called me a nit, and I had to ask my friend, I go, well, she called me a nit. What does that mean? I literally was curious, like, what exactly am I? And looking back, yes, I would say quitting after one $5 set was semi-nitty.
A $5 nit, that's pretty
Right,
bad.
not 5 a game, 5 a set.
Right.
I was careful because I had like $10 in the whole world. Not much has changed, but I mean, I just never forget her calling me a nit.
Opening up a little now. Thinking about crossing the 2 maybe?
Sure, yeah, maybe. Oh, I can't quite tell what he's doing. I think he's playing it down by the 6 or something, or he's back cutting the 1.
Yeah.
Boy, this is kind of aggressive. I like doing something with the 3. Banking the 3 down and maybe drawing the cue ball down behind the 1-7 too.
Yeah, two-way in mind
Or
here. Bank's
something.
real tough. So.
And you don't even really have to draw this back, but if you could do it without scratching, of course. Yeah, something like that.
On top of the 2, good cue ball position. Rare that you'd see people kick out a ball in
Right,
Bankpool, but
right.
the play's available, and Tony recognized it.
Yeah, such a wise player. He just, guy's 40-something years old, but it's like he's played pool for 6 lifetimes. He knows every shot.
Same shot here from Shane.
Yeah.
Wow. Really aggressive. I guess he just feels like he won't leave the 2. Yeah, it's too hard to cut the ball that much. Just leave him on
Right.
top of the 7.
Keep the cue ball right there. Maybe do that one more time. Oh, he's playing the 6. He's not in the mood to mess around anymore. Caught it just a fraction heavy, and so Shane's going to play the 3 ball. Yeah, when you shoot those long banks, you know you're leaving them a short bank. It's
It's a loose play.
Yeah, a little bit loose.
Got it.
Because the top players are going to make that bank way more often than you're going to make the 6 ball bank. Shane, one of the few players that still uses the master chalk, but when you've won $27 billion on tour, you know, you figure why change anything, and I don't blame him. I mean, I think it's better to use the other chalk, but like I said, when you've won that much, there's no way you're going to get somebody to switch.
2 in a row now for Shane. Shaking his head like he doesn't have room past the 5. No, he doesn't.
I'm easy. I go 2 and out so often. I'm like, oh, you got a new type of chalk you want me to try? Sure. I'm all about it.
You know what I wanted to see from the newer chalks, and this is like kind of an anal statement, but I want them to be square.
Yeah, I don't like them rolling around. Yep.
Or just how they feel in my hand.
Yeah,
when I'm
that
chalking.
too, yeah, just from our whole life having a square piece. Right?
Yeah, so I think.
But there's such an advancement. I mean, that, to me, they're the biggest advancement in pool. The balls, you know, your $500 cloth, $500 balls, and $500 pool shafts don't get ground to a pulp by that abrasive chalk. And so they're great. It's great stuff. Wow, what a shot. Might play the 2. Because you could cut, yeah, this is a little 1 pocket shot. It doesn't look bankable, but it'll hit that rail with just a little side spin and gear effect right down in the hole. And he just overcut it.
Maybe overhit the speed just slightly, straightened out. 3 all now in ball count. Again, Shane looking to take down this set to be number 1 in his group and advance to the semifinals. Nice hit.
Boy, what a shot. Overcut it just a little bit. Give Tony You know, he might scratch on the side here.
He might line him up.
Oh, or not.
Shane on the hill now, 1 ball away from victory. Tony's going to go for the pocket hook here.
Yeah.
Too dangerous on the pocket hook.
I'll tell you what, this is kind of touchy.
Just try to get the cue ball the end rail, cut the 5 into the 2.
Yeah. Oh,
That was almost a double hit.
yeah, it sure looked close. But Shane would have, you know, probably just said, "Hey, I fouled there." He's real good about that kind of
Shooting
stuff.
pretty far away from it, too.
Yeah, he was aiming away. That's right.
Tony with the straight back. This one for game number 3 for Tony.
Wow, stole that game.
There.
Yeah, totally alive still.
So for Shane to guarantee winning his group, he'll have to win the next game. If he wins the match 3-2, it'll go to deciding win-losses over their 5 matches.
Tony excitedly runs back to his chair.
About equal on accuracy. Tony raising his safe play a little bit in set number 3. No matter whether he has to win or not, it's kind of like he got 2 games to 0 stuck, and he realized, well, actually, I want to win maybe a little more than I thought. It's
Well,
just
you know,
the natural
yeah, and he's a
competitiveness.
world-class player, and competitiveness and ego and pride and represent your sponsors. I mean, he's going to keep fighting.
And maybe I put it the wrong way. It's not that
Right.
it's not that I didn't mean he didn't want to win. Is what I meant is he came out with a more aggressive approach in the first 2 games.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and when it wasn't working, he kind of resorted back to more typical Bankpool. Shane's got a chance here on the 4. He's considering what kind of position he can play.
Well, if this goes in, the balls are laying reasonable. You might have a lot more opportunities.
Short.
Well, a little short. And Tony,
Dead in.
you know, I don't know what the odds would be of him making this, but pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 8 out of 10 or something.
Yeah, especially when he's kind of lined up with the
Yeah,
angle
lined
already.
up. He's not trying to like power it in 1,000 miles an hour. This is a yeah. As soon as I say that,
there's the 80%.
Yeah,
because
yeah, right.
I would have put him higher,
I
but
mean, how much would you like to bet on that going in?
Yeah, it wasn't 100, obviously. But you can see, you don't see emotion from him much, and he's just kind of dropped his head as he missed, and
Yeah,
kind of shaking his head. He knows that
he's got to make that one.
yeah. Another big shot here from Shane.
Oh, he can't get to the 8. He's playing the 7, I guess. Oh, really turned it nicely. That's threatening. Good stroke. That takes a lot of feel to do that, you know, to spin it and kind of kill the cue ball.
Yeah, he knew it was tough, so
He'll just stay right
got the
behind
cue ball
the 8.
behind the 8.
Oh, Tony. No, he didn't mean to do that.
No.
No, he didn't mean to do that. You'd never take a foul playing Bankpool. Well, not never, but just about never.
You ever lost a game at -1 in Bankpool? I guess you
oh
have.
yeah, I'm sure I
Probably.
have, yeah.
Pretty rare, though.
The best set that was ever played, I mean, I played the Derby Banks maybe twice, and I remember Ryan McCreesh, like, broke and ran out, broke and ran 4, and then broke and ran out. I mean, he almost made 15 in a row, and I mean, it was impressive enough. I'm still talking about it 18 years later or something.
How about one pocket? Like how many balls? Did
Oh
you,
yeah, I've lost like
4 or 5.
Oh yeah, well Scott Frost and I played a game one time where he was, I believe, -12 and I was -8.
Really?
That was pretty wild. I've never seen that many coins up there on a rail.
Wow.
Yeah, you can, like these Derby City races of 3. It's common to get beat 3 games to 0 and you never pocket a ball and you're -3 for the whole match. That can happen real quick.
Yeah.
Good shot. Oh, he hit it nice. A little dejected looking there. I know the feeling.
5 might be available. No, the 8's in the pocket.
Yeah, he'll just drive this down table and put the cue ball down on the back rail. Nice and safe. Now this is tough because now you're trying to run the cue ball off a ball through traffic back to the end rail. It's really hard to do. And you'll see Tony scratch his ear and think for a minute because this can go bad. He's going to come off the, wow, that, ugh, yeah, that can get away from you. Left an easy 1 ball.
Yep.
Well, not easy. None of these banks are easy, but a playable 1 ball. Yeah, whenever that cue ball's near a rail, nothing's easy. It could make you miss the just little baby shots. You know, and I always thought it was because I could only hit the top of the cue ball.
I was gonna say.
And it is that mostly, but it's also because you can't use the cue ball as a visual aid to line up because it's hidden by the rail. So it's like behind like a little blind, you know what I mean? And I always thought it was just because you're nicking the top of the cue ball, but it's partly because you can't aim right. All right? I mean, isn't that...
It makes sense. I never heard it said like that, but I
mean,
you're right.
I think that's what it is for me. Because, you know, you as a player, you look down that shaft, you see the cue ball, object ball, pocket connection. Well, now the cue ball's removed from that visual.
It's a different perspective
Yeah, totally.
than 90% of the shots.
And then you throw in the fact that you can't hit the center of the cue ball, and it just makes it so tough.
2 banks now for Tony.
Yeah, he liked to made that. He'd been off and running. Shane's lined up pretty good on this 3 to take a crack at it, but
Pretty sure Tony's up 2-0 here. The scoreboard's 1 ball behind. Oh no, ball's coming up.
you know what's really easy to do for these refs when they pull balls out with those gloves on is it just shoots right out of your hand and just hits all the balls on the table.
Yeah, happens in
Yeah,
snooker.
yes, that's right. I've seen it. Good shot. Seems like everybody, all the pros now are getting heavily into golf. I've been asked to play golf about 10 times this week, and I haven't played golf in 8 years, so I just kind of laugh. But man, they were all into it. Evan Lunda was saying, "Oh man, I love playing. It's so fun." And Tyler Steyer's getting all into it.
Gomez has been going.
Yeah, Gomez. I mean, Gomez is funny. He was, showing me a swing, and they're all such coordinated people. They would all be fantastic golfers if they play enough. Good shot.
Yes. 3-ball run now for Shane. Knew that was tough, so played the cue ball safe. Still going to go at the 2 here.
Ooh, what a
got it.
shot. God, from back there where he was, that's a heck of a shot.
On the hill now. Match ball for Shane here.
Yeah, now he'll probably call this in the side. Oh, he's going to 4-rail it. Okay. This will be fun to watch. He's going to have to cut this ball to his left a little bit.
4 rails behind the back.
Yeah. Other than that, it's easy. And his cue ball is going to be moving out to the right, and so sometimes it'll come around and get a kiss like this. Oh, he's going to beat the kiss. Oh, this is threatening too. What a shot.
Just short.
Nice try.
Great try. Well, puts himself on the hill.
Yeah. Now, Tony needs to open these 3 balls up and run to the back rail.
No, he's going to play for 1 ball.
I don't know what he's doing here. This can't really. Wow. He played the 4-railer from there. Well,
ended up in really the worst spot for Shane, no?
Right. Boy, that was aggressive.
Oh, the 8s there, though.
The 8s, I mean. Yeah, you can't shoot a 4-railer to leave this, so I think Tony, maybe frustration set in just a touch there. Because he knows that was a little too aggressive. And it hung up.
Not there.
Okay, we still got action. You know, I kind of forget how fun watching Bankpool is until I just sit and watch it. It's really fascinating to watch. Look at that shot. Look at that hit. Wow.
I always thought it would sell well on TV.
Right, because anybody can figure out what the optic is. He's trying to bank it in.
Yeah.
You know.
And every shot's entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, when they start doing the multi-rail thing, I like watching that when they gamble by the rail. And, you know, now Tony being behind might try to make a 3-railer to get 3 points to catch back up. And you'll see him shoot shots that you wouldn't normally get to see.
There
Oh,
goes
this
Shane
one
for the win here.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah, just tighten it up. Doesn't take much. Tighten it up a little bit.
7/8 block in the corner. Tony can play the side here.
And kind of control the cue ball. Oh.
Straight backs there, John.
Yeah, and you got to hit this with some left-handing. You don't got to, but he will, I would think. He'll try to kind of compress the 6 ball and create that little tiny 1 millimeter flat spot on it, which will help it turn. Because when you hit them this straight on, you can actually, you know, the balls are elastic. Obviously, they bounce. That's how you get these balls to twist back. It's not from friction. There's really not enough friction to make those object balls rotate that much, unless they're dirty. No, he went the other way. Yeah, nothing wrong with this either. Yeah, and this is smart because he knows he won't leave a return bank with the 8-7 block in the pocket.
That's exactly why he shot
Yeah,
it.
nice shot. Yeah, the other shot could have opened him up and it could have got away from him. Yeah, Shane's a smart player. He shoots all the right shots. I've never really seen him shoot a shot that I thought, wow, that was silly. And I've watched him play 20 years. Oh, that's going to be long, yep. Well, I believe he can play this with a high left cue ball, like a 1-pocket shot, and just pocket weight it right over to the hole. But you got to use a little bit of left so your cue ball doesn't go straight down table in the other corner. There, oh, he hit it with high right, hit it perfect.
There it is, and
What
that's
a
the
shot.
match for
What a
Shane.
match.
So, as per all my calculations, Shane will finish #1 in his group and advance automatically to the semifinals. The quarterfinals and semifinals for the Bankpool division will be the day after tomorrow. Yeah, we have the men's Las Vegas Open quarterfinals coming up at 5 Pacific. We have the women's Challenger Champions coming up at 7:30 Pacific tonight. Nice display of Bankpool here from both players.
Oh, yeah, that was fun to watch and great to work with you as usual, Eric.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay, talk to you guys soon.